Hey guys, I'm Ashton from Event Chain. We're here at the Bitcoin Rodeo with Eric, the co-founder of Skrumble. Thank you for being here, man. If you would, just start off a little bit by telling us, like, what is Skrumble? What are you guys doing in the blockchain industry?
Yeah, great. So thanks for having me here. So Skrumble Network really is a game-changing blockchain initiative. And what we've done is we've looked at the blockchain world, and we've seen that 10% of the global GDP is going to blockchain by 2025, according to Deloitte. Now, the issue is that, for this new decentralized paradigm and this new world that we're coming to, when you look at how people communicate today, it's really not built for that. So you might use a traditional telecom company, or you might use an app. So you might use, let's say, Facebook or WhatsApp, WeChat or Telegram. The problem is that all of these are centralized and you don't own your data. They can be hacked, manipulated, blocked. We've heard from Facebook of the 86 million accounts that were compromised, 70 million accounts on Telegram compromised, and WeChat actively censors your content and data. So really, it's not quite there yet. And for when people are dealing with billions of dollars of transactions, you can't take those kind of risks. So what we've done is we've looked at this and created really the first communication centric blockchain. And what that means is that it's not, blockchain is not one size fits all, right? If I'm going to send you some ether, you can wait 2 or 3 minutes and you'll get it. It's fine. But when I want to talk to you, it needs to be right away, and you need to be able to be secure and own your data. So the first component of what we have is our own blockchain, and the second component is our own DApp, which is called Ally, and that launches August 1st, so in beta form. So really exciting. It's got like full voice, video, messaging, file sharing. We're adding in-app cryptocurrency payments, mini smart contracts. So the place to contact and contract very securely and safely. What's really cool about what we're doing is that it's not going to be able to be blocked by any firewall. So for example, in China or Russia or stuff like that, I mean, you heard Telegram got banned in its own Russia, like its own country. So I mean, really, we're talking about kind of the future of communications. And a little bit of background on our project. We have some of the top advisors in the world. We have Anthony Diorio from Ethereum. We have Jeff Pulver, who started Vonage, CTO of Aeon, and of course, a professor of University of Toronto, Redwan. So, really great project. We launched our ICO in May 5th. We sold out in 1 hour. We're on 4 or 5 exchanges already, and we're doing like $5 to $30 million a day in USD in active trading volume. So it's a really great project. We have a huge community of 80,000 people and very active around the world. And this is part of our next big roadshow. So we're really excited to be here, and that's kind of the background on Skrumble Network.
That's awesome, Eric. I think that it's true to say that there's this paradigm shift happening where right now, for convenience, we're giving up our own data to other companies, and they're the ones who are collecting data on millions and millions of people. And then data is very, very valuable, right? And it's true that you should really own your own data. So is that part of one of the core values of Skrumble, is that people get to own their own data and choose what parts of the data they want to distribute to the public?
Yeah, 100%. You're exactly right. And in addition to that, we think that it's a little bit dangerous that you look at, for example, Mark Zuckerberg, right, from Facebook. It was announced that he's now the 3rd richest man in the world, all of the data is stored in centralized servers. Let's say in Silicon Valley for Facebook or whatnot. And we think about a little bit of Big Brother, whether it's the financial part where you're not, because you're creating the content, and then they're the ones who are benefiting, number one. And number two is that think a little bit of Big Brother. I mean, that information can be used in very dangerous ways, right? So one thing that's very unique about us is that the data is actually stored across multiple community-owned masternodes and nodes.
That's very interesting. So, with a distributed system, you really have to distribute the nodes to make sure that there's not one centralized point of failure, or one party can control the algorithms behind this blockchain. So could you tell us a little bit more about Skrumble and how your guys' blockchain is running, and then touch on the masternodes as well?
100%, that's a great question. So you're exactly right. For any proper decentralized ecosystem, it's all about actually having decentralized people around the world managing the nodes and that kind of stuff. So one of the things that we do, so Skrumble Network was started by a company in Toronto called Skrumble. We have 50 people on the team and some very strong technical expertise. We also have 30 global patents and 16 patent pending as well around blockchain and other communication technologies. So what's really interesting about what we have, for example, is that we're able to take, as one of our patents, we're able to take that data, replicate it so that there's no, you can't lose it. But then what we do is we slice it up and split it up and spread it out across multiple community-owned nodes. That way, you truly own your data, and if for whatever reason one of those nodes was compromised, well, there's no risk of you losing that information because it's only a fragment or a small piece. So you're exactly right. And we actually just announced our master nodes. We sold out in one day, and we have 88 already, and we're likely to add more as we scale.
Wow, that's very interesting. And I think one of the analogies that you can make for a non-technical person that's sort of heard of this distributed file system is that it's sort of like a torrent, where everybody has little pieces of the files distributed throughout the whole network. And if one of these nodes were to be hacked, it only has fragments of those files. And for the person that owns that data, they have the keys to unencrypt that data. So say I have a music file and it's on 5 different nodes distributed throughout, and then if I want to access it, I can unlock it with a private key, so to say. Otherwise, when one person hacks it, sure, they have 1/5 of an encrypted file. You really can't do anything with that. Is that true?
You're dead on. And we have a unique technology around our blockchain so that all of the user data the authentication and identity management is done through the blockchain. So it creates that secret key where, let's say you, me, and one other person want to have a secure private conversation. Everything is there in one place, but the only way that we can concatenate, which means put the data or files back together, is by having that secret key. So the only people that have that are us. And it's a peer-to-peer connection, and there's no centralized server, which means that only we have that data, and there's no middle person like Facebook or Telegram or anything like that. So we get to decide what we want to do with our data, and nobody else does.
That's very interesting. So if you would, Eric, tell us what's coming up for Skrumble. I know you mentioned Ally, but in the next 6 months on the roadmap, what are we seeing in terms of the development and growth?
It's a great question. So we have our testnet coming in September. We have Ally, which is going to be huge, coming around August 1st for beta. We're going to marry the two together. We have a significant following around the world. So we're likely to have about, I'd say, 100,000 to 200,000 users in the next 1 or 2 months. And that will make us the #1 DApp in the world. Then what we want to do is we're going to do our mainnet end of this year or Q1 of next year. And really grow the community and create the #1 community-owned communication ecosystem. In addition, we're doing something called Skrumble Labs, which will be helping other projects build on top of our chain. So that's kind of like the general roadmap. And we're also starting to, so one of our advisors is Anthony from Ethereum. He also started Decentral, and they do the Jax wallet. So we're gonna look to partner with them, do some other cool stuff like that, and really create one of the top ecosystems in the world.
Wow. So you guys mentioned you have 100,000 plus people hopefully coming to this platform by the mainnet. If there are viewers out there that are looking to get involved with Skrumble, what's the best way to get ready for this, get involved with the community?
Yes, that's great. So for now, check out our website, www.skrumble.network. Check out our Telegram group. It's called Skrumble Network Chat. Or in the next month, join us in our app. And we're going to have some really amazing content, sweet rewards, and this is really the future right here of communication, because we need to take back our data, and we need to make sure that we're not just putting money into the pocket of Mark Zuckerberg or whoever. We're owning our data, and it's secure and it's easy to use. So we're bringing blockchain to the mainstream in a secure, easy way, and let's get ready to scrumble.
Wow. Well, thanks so much for your time, Eric, and it was a pleasure.
Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it.